All right, guys, it is halftime at the Houston, Colorado game, and we're going to get into this like really, really fast. Let's go. All right, so we are at halftime now. We have got a really close game at 14 to 16. It did not look like it was going to be this. Obviously, you guys are watching this, so I'm not telling you something that you don't know. But wow, a tale of two quarters, man. That first quarter going out of the first quarter, we had some pretty significant issues with the University of Colorado offense and some pretty significant issues with our Colorado defense. I would say probably my number one take out of this whole thing is our running game. Again, first half, second half, our running game and quarterback play in the first quarter. I'm sorry, first quarter, second quarter. First quarter was just terrible. Nothing was clicking. The play calling was terrible. I know if I have to hear "screen" one more time from someone in the Colorado faithful, I know I'm screaming too. Like, guys, we cannot go laterally on this team. They are way too fast and way too good. We have got to go up the middle. We've got to exploit the middle with everything that we've got. And when we started doing that, things started to change. And um, and then we got into the second quarter. And let's talk about Houston in the first quarter too. Houston in the first quarter was just clicking. Wigman has a game high running game going right now in just one half of football. I want to say he had 71 yards in the first half, something like that. Let me see. Houston rushing, Wigman 71 yards on 8 carries, 8.9 average. We figured out Dean Connors. At first, I thought Dean Connors was going to carry this thing away from us. But we figured him out, much like we figured out the running backs against Delaware and the running backs against Georgia Tech. We have figured out the running backs. We can stop the running game from that standpoint, but we cannot seem to key on the quarterback, and that's a problem. The quarterback is an obvious problem for us. We've got to figure out a way to I don't know, key on Wigman a little bit more. You know, the spy that we have going right now is just not keying in, and Wigman isn't like blasting, right? He's actually slow off of the like that last run that he made for the first down. He was slow off that corner. He waited for his blockers to get in front of him, and then he followed his blockers. I mean, it's smart running, but we were so in the middle of that line that no one set the edge on that, which seems to be something that we're having a problem with right now. Then you get into the second quarter, and things flipped 100%. Our defense stout, was a little bit more stout at that point, and we were able to hold Houston to a couple of field goals, which was super super important that we did that, right? And I think overall our defense grade that I would give them would probably be a C. I think tackling I would give them a D or an F. That tackling has been terrible, terrible, terrible this first half. We've got to figure out the tackling. That's something that plagued us back in the last game, and it seems to be getting us in this game as well. We have some good tackling and some bad tackling, and I've got a name written down on my notebook here that I am not going to say, but I think you guys already know when we're talking about the poor tackling in this game so far, right? So we've got to figure that out. Coaches have got to pull those players, and we got to get somebody in there that just wants to absolutely annihilate these guys. The tackling on the front line, on our defensive line in the second quarter was much better. So I think we're getting to that point. McPherson looks like he's on the precipice of probably at least one sack in this game. I like the way that he's looking. Who else? Barnes is looking pretty good as well. So I think that we're going to have a much better defensive game in the second half. Now let's get the elephant out of the room here, the quarterback situation. So about right after the first quarter, I put a note on X that said, "Who starts the second quarter? who starts the second half? Sorry. And I had Ryan Staub, I had Caden Salter, and obviously Julian Lewis. And it was overwhelmingly Caden Salter. And it was interesting because I didn't say anything about whether we should switch. I just said who should start, right? I'm going into this game, I was whoever starts, whether it be Staub or whether it be Salter, I wanted to play them the entire game. I don't want to put in another quarterback at halftime. So seeing that Staub started, I think Staub should just play all the way through, and we just let the dice roll, right? I think he got into, you could feel the offense just absolutely switch right there in the second quarter, the last two drives. You could feel the light switch on. Staub started to become a better decision maker. He really put it on his back. Him and Price, Simeon Price, exploiting the middle of the field there and running like a dog and looking awesome. Price, I said going into this game, I hope Price gets to leap over somebody into the end zone like he's been trying to do for the longest time. He really, really needs to have that. Like it's got to happen for him. But I think Staub has got it. I think he's feeling his mojo. We're only 2 points behind. When you're talking about where we should be going into halftime, I feel comfortable with this. Like we are one field goal away from being in the lead, even though they've got the ball coming out of the half. I still think that we stand a really good chance with Staub in this game. The question is Coach going to keep Staub in this game? I can't see how he would switch out at this point. Seeing what Staub has been able to do in the last two drives, I really don't see him switching out. So as far as the stats for the game so far, our number one rusher is obviously Simeon Price with 49 yards. He's got a 12.3 average carry, and obviously that one run, that long of 38, really helped that average out. Ryan Staub is at 6.6 yards, and that 18-yard long helped him out in that. So Ryan Staub is doing a good job running the ball in the second quarter. DeKalen Taylor at 11 yards, 5.5 yards per carry, and as a team we're at 6.2 yards per carry. So obviously that is, if you were to take out a few long runs, we would be looking terrible in that. So let's not get really too excited about that right now. If we can continue that second quarter in the second half, then we are going to be lights out. I really don't think that they're going to be able to keep up with this. Omarion Miller, 18-yard average for 55 yards. Micah Welch receiving 10.5-yard average. He's been doing a good job receiving. Draylon Miller at about 10 yards average. Joseph Williams at 7.5 average. DeKalen Taylor at 8 average. So when you look at these numbers, not bad at all. Our receivers are doing the job that they need to do, but Staub was having a hard time putting that ball where he needed to, especially in the first quarter. And that hurt everybody on the team. But he looks like he's settled down a little bit. So let's go to some of your comments because you guys are going wild in the comments here. All right, so Salty Vet says, we've got ourselves a game, folks. Yes, going into halftime, we finally do. The Veins of Journey says the defense has got to play better. Travis says, MLS showing me enough, and we're finding our groove. Yeah, MLS is looking really good. Give me a close win. Chunk says, making plays like Brett Favre. He does kind of look like Brett Favre out there. When Brett Favre, it's funny because you just say that. When Brett Favre is inaccurate, he is inaccurate as he can possibly be. But when he's on, he's one of the best that's ever played. All right. Lafoche, no more laterals. Yes. That flat is off limits as far as I'm concerned. And every out that we had going to the sideline seemed to be really hard for Staub to make that pass to because the coverage is so good. The middle of the field is where we're going to find it. That's what I said in the pregame. We noticed it in the first quarter because we weren't going into the middle at all in the first quarter. And then in the second quarter, we exploited the middle, and look at that. They gave us a runway. So hopefully they don't make an adjustment there. Our clock management is still terrible. Yes, Al, you are 100%. I did not mention that. Also, penalties is a problem for us this quarter. I don't know if I have that here. Let me see real quick. I don't have penalties up on my screen real quick, but I'll look those up. But we were good the first two games, and we're right back into where we were before. I have a feeling we're going to have, if we keep this up, we're going to have over 100 yards in penalties in this game. So hopefully they can nip that in the bud there. Stop needs to play like it's a 2-minute drill the rest of the game. Yeah, I totally agree. I initially said Buffs 28-24. Maybe I'm thinking 28-27 or 31-28. Let's go Buffs. Let's see. Houston can't throw, stack the box. Wigman, he was accurate in the first quarter and inaccurate in the second. Like I said, they just completely flipped. CB says, Price power run game, Staub on PlayStation rolls out. That's right. Ben and Preston need to be benched. Defense better without them. Facts. Well, I will say this, that Ben had a pretty good play in the end zone, and I know that ball was poorly thrown, but he was there for it. If that ball had been thrown earlier, yeah, that could have been a problem. CU needs to continue to find a way to get Omarion in the game. I agree. Let's see. Travis. Price should be the starter. Right now, I like him better than Welch. Yeah, Welch is hot and cold, and he's been hot and cold all year. When he's hot, he's hot, and when he's cold, he can't get it. He can't get an inch. Right. That's one thing about Connors in Houston. If you watch him, we stuffed him in that second quarter, but he still has a tendency to lean forward for 2 yards every single time. We have a problem doing that. When we get hit, we fall backwards or we go straight to the ground. But we need to figure that out. Brian C says, Alpine, an unbelievably slow start. How were you on believing in Staub? I am still believing in Staub, but keep in mind that it's not Staub so much that I believe in. It's whoever started this game. If Caden was going to start this game, I'd be 100% behind Caden. Staub started this game. I think Staub should finish this game. We need to get through a game. Let them find their speed. Let them find their groove. Let them organize the offense. Let the other guys get used to them. And that's how we're going to play well this year. If we keep passing around quarterbacks, we're never going to do that. It's never going to happen. So as far as I'm concerned, it's Staub or nothing right now because that's who he started with. I love MLS being decisive, says Travis. Brian C., the defense is playing better, and hopefully the offense could get some big, quick plays and score. Brian C. says, let's dominate. Let's see. Poor tackling by Carter. Yeah, Carter is suspect again. Alex is booming. Wow. Yes, I want to see Alex. I want to see Alex. I want to see BDS get out there and really start showing a lot too. And BDS has not looked bad, but I think we could look much better there. The edges are going to set the tone for the second half. I'm 100% sure of it. The D-line needs to keep pushing forward and stop the dang QB run. Yeah, we need to stick our helmet right in his pelvis. Then make him think twice about coming through that line again, guys. Someone has got to take the lead on this and put him on the ground. Rad ZX10 Daddy, Carter is ridiculous and why we aren't bigger. I agree. Carter is not looking great, but honestly, as a defense, we need to get better all together. And actually, Carter is not the one that I was mentioning, by the way. There's another one that the 49-yard run that Wigman had, we could have stopped him behind the line and we missed the tackle there. And that wasn't Carter. I don't know. Carter seems to be tentative. Like when he was rushing the quarterback, he could have gotten to that quarterback pretty fast. It just looks like he slowed up a little bit, like he was afraid he was going to get a penalty for roughing the passer or something like that. And that's what I'm seeing a lot with Carter. Is it looks like he's just tentative, like he's not at full speed for some reason. Yeah, Brian, that's a parrot on my shoulder. That's not a parrot. I don't even know what kind of bird it is. What kind of bird are you? Connor, what kind of bird are you? Do you know? Oh, he doesn't know. Anyway, it's my daughter's bird. She wanted him to be in the video, so he's hanging out in the video. What kind of a bird is it? A conure? Okay, a conure. It's a conure. Our defense has to be stout. G says, give our offense a headset to the parrot. The parrot's going to call the plays.
Okay.
Duncan's going to call the plays. All right, we got it. All right, Staub is on fire now, and I think, guys, that's all we need to know is that Staub is on fire. If anybody wants anyone other than Staub in for the second half, put it in the comments now. We're going to end the show with that because we got to get back to a game, folks. And then I'm going to be coming on directly after the game for the post game, and it's going to be a safe space no matter what happens. So if you guys want to join me, it'll be literally the 1 minute after the game ends, unless for some reason the fourth quarter is terrible and we might go on a little bit early to talk about it. Let's see. Let's get down to the bottom here. The bird needs to be a regular. I don't think the bird has anything better to do at this point. Let's see. Let's go bust. Finish strong. Hell no. Let Staub play all season, says Rad ZX10 Daddy. Oh yeah. He doesn't want Salter in there. Keep Staub, says Veins of Journey. Travis says Go Buffs. Let's get one more in there. Whoever names it next. All right. G says keep Staub, bench the OC. Yes. Let Staub call the plays. He seems to be doing good at doing that, right? Well, I want to appreciate you guys for being there for halftime. I want you to get out there and watch the game and be back here right after the game for the post-game show. That's a wrap from Alpine Garage Sports. I am Chris, and this is Duncan, and we will see you after the game.